Hi, this is Pat from Control House. I'd like to take a quick technical overview of the Channel Logo Manager module with you. Here is what the contents of the zip file would look like. Let's take a quick look at the VT Pro E file. Here you have resources, which is basically the same button in 3 different sizes. A button consists of a transparent button with an animation behind it. There's one logo per channel in the animation. Please be aware that selecting an animation can take some time depending on how much data is in there. So for example, the Netherlands has maybe 200 channels. Selecting that button will take a few seconds. In the UK, the animation has 700 and something logos. Selecting that button can take quite a bit of time. Selecting multiple objects goes relatively quickly. Once you've integrated the module into your program, you'll need to put the channel list in the processor. It is recommended to use compact flash, but if you need to use NVRAM, you'll need to use system info to connect to your processor. Then under functions, select NVRAM disk, enable NVRAM disk, and select the appropriate size. The size is dependent on how many channels exist in the country you're dealing with. So we're using NVRAM because it's just a sample program for this module. If we were using it in a project, we would probably need compact flash to accommodate all of the data. So we open up the file manager with this icon, connect to our processor, select NVRAM disk, and then drag over the channel list file for the appropriate country. Let's take a look at the module itself. Channel list file location is the file we just dragged over to the processor. So the location is NVRAM, and here's the file name. The favorites file is what will be generated once we create a list. So as you see, there's only the channel list in there now. If we open up the X panel, press and hold to edit, this is the channel list. All of this data is obtained from that XML list. Selecting a channel, now we've generated an entry in our favorites list. So if we go back to the file manager, reconnect to the processor to refresh it, we'll see that a new file was created called favorites.xml. We can have a quick look at that. Now these files can be done by hand and then uploaded to the processor, or them as is. So here's our favorites, and here's the list. So favorite number 1, the name is for music, the channel is channel number 2, the animation value is number 2, and the type is 1. Type designates whether it is TV or radio. We don't have any other favorites in our list, so the rest of the entries are empty. Some other things to be aware of. In the search list, this analog input allows you to adjust the size of the list. This is where you would edit the channel. And the IR commands, back enable and enter enable. If there's a 1 on both of the inputs, then selecting a channel would pulse first the back command, and then the channel, and then the enter command. If one of these are not needed, you would simply put a 0 on that input. The delay time is in seconds, and that indicates how long the module waits between sending each of these commands. One other thing to be aware of is in your channel list, the favorites list can accommodate 50 channels. The channels that are being used. So in our example program, we're using 16 channels, and that's all we have defined. If we need all 250 channels, of course we need to define them. It does take more processing power. So only define channels that are needed. Here's the channel name, here's the channel number, and here is the animation value. If you have any questions, please post them for them. Thank you.